I'm Sean Kent Hayashi with Saucon Valley Cute and Cuddly Puppies. These two puppies are from the same litter. Sweet Tea and Maui are their parents. This little puppy has just recently been named Wavy Davy Jackson, and he, according to EMBARK DNA, is a 100% miniature Schnauzer. He is just adorable, isn't he? And this little guy, brother, full brother, same litter. Look at him. What a sweetie he is. Today, in this video, I'm going to share something with you that has shocked me and has me rethinking some things about what I'm doing as a dog breeder and the future of SVCC Schnauzers. Come along for this wee hours of the morning adventure with me into my own thoughts about the strategy and what I'm doing as a dog breeder. It's the wee hours of the morning on June 5th. Wee hours of the morning, 3 in the morning, something. And I'm awake. My head, my thoughts are racing, and I need to make some decisions. I need to think things through. I thought I would bring you along with me on this thought exercise and share with you the questions that I ask myself and show you how I think through something when it feels to me to be very complex and emotional. I have a model for making decisions when things are complex, emotional, feeling perhaps a little overwhelming or intense. So I'm bringing you along so that you can hear the thoughts, the questions, and see the evolution in this video of what happens as I dissect, uncover, sift, and sort through what feels like to me at the moment a big decision that I need to make. In fact, a shocking decision that I need to make. Come along. I'm sure at some point you've been in this place too, where you're confronted by a challenge, shock, and now you've got to make a decision about how you move forward. And so how will I make this decision? I'm going to share the questions, the thinking, everything going on in my head that's right now. I'm not normally somebody who's awake in the middle of the night, or at least not with this kind of thing. Maybe with a puppy or a mom dog that needs some help, but not normally trying to process my own complex emotions and thoughts. Yesterday, around 1:30 in the afternoon, I received an email. And when I opened the email and started dissecting what was in the email, it caused me to have a pretty big jolt and a realization on some level this might be changing a lot for me, but I've got to decide what that looks like. So there are a series of questions that I ask myself to guide my decision-making process. And as I said, I'm bringing you along in that. And the first question that I like to ask myself is, what is the real need? So what is underneath this that is a need for me? So a need is different from a want, right? I need, well, let's check it out. I need to run my Saucon Valley Cute and Cuddly Schnauzer business. That's not really a need. It's more of a lifestyle enjoyment business. So, okay, what's the real need? Well, the real need, when I dig into it in my mind and my heart, is to be in integrity. The real need is to be able to be authentic in myself. What's the real need? I like to ask myself the questions over and over several times and just keep seeing what else bubbles up. What's the real need? Well, the real need, okay, here, I'm having this insight, right? The real need in me is to know that I am breeding dogs that are genetically sound and that are aligned to enabling families to have beloved family pets for as long as possible, to be able to help families, people create a connection, a beloved family connection with their dog in a way that represents what great looks like today. So like, I want to be a modern dog breeder. I don't want to be confined or constrained by decisions that people made about dog breeds 50 or 100 years ago. So the standard, the AKC standard or someone else's standard about what a well-bred dog is from years ago doesn't really drive me today. The real need for me today is to breed and train dogs to be beloved family pets. There, I'm teasing out for myself the real need, and it's also for me to be in integrity with myself about what I'm doing. So the first three questions when I'm processing myself through something are what I refer to as thought questions, analytical head questions. So what's the real need? What are the options in addressing the decision that needs to be made? And I like to come up with at least 3 options, but maybe even 4. And one of those options is do nothing. So what would it look like if I do nothing? But then also, what would it look like if I do some of the things that are bubbling that seem perhaps logical here? Once I've come up with at least 3 options, then I ask myself, if I did option 1, then what, then what, then what? If I did option 2, then what, then what, then what, then what? I like to think it out. Ideally, at least 5 then whats. If I do option 3, then what, then what, then what? If I don't do anything at all, then what happens? I'm sort of chuckling to myself. It's so in the middle of the night here that every dog, all of them, all the puppies, all the mom dogs, everybody, they're all sound asleep, even though I'm talking. They haven't even come to sort of check on me to say, why are you up so early? This is so abnormal. But we'll see how long this goes on for me, and do they actually wake up and come check on me here in a few minutes. But the next round of questions that I like to ask myself are what I think of as the feeling, the integrity, the heart kinds of questions. And so it starts off with, in essence, am I telling myself the whole truth? Like, what else needs to be said with myself for the whole truth to be evident? Like, if everyone knew all of the facts, what would that look like? So am I telling myself the truth? Am I being honest with myself in a way that feels like integrity, like digging into that? And then the next question is, what's my intuition? What's my gut? When I think about integrity, for me, it's my head, my thoughts are aligned to my feelings, my heart is aligned to my gut, my intuition. I usually touch my stomach, but you can't see me doing that right now. So what is the alignment here in integrity? So that, again, that's the second part. Does it feel right? How are my thoughts evolving in a way that enables me to say, what feels right here? What's my intuition telling me? So I'm tapping in with all 3 areas of my being, if you will. I like to ask myself the question, what would I do if I deserved better? What would I do if other people deserved better? What does great look like? And so these are the questions that I'm going to play with in this video with you, so you can see how I'm evolving related to this head spinning, shocking thing I'm dealing with. I can imagine if I would put myself in your shoes at the moment, you're saying, wait a minute, Sean, you haven't even told us what the issue is. Could you please tell us what the issue is? Yesterday, 1:32 p.m. in the afternoon, I got an email from EMBARK, the DNA testing company that I am so excited about, loyal to, because I really think that testing, DNA type testing, is the future, a big part of the future of ethical dog breeding. Because I have a stand that I want to breed dogs that are beautifully designed for the modern world. And I have been thinking of EMBARK as part of the partner for me in doing that. Sweet Tea and Honeybee are two of my schnauzers who at the moment are saying, Mom, why are you waking me up? I'm sleeping. They've been all cuddled in with me, sleeping. But this one, Sweet Tea, and this one, Honeybee, in EMBARK are 100% purebred miniature schnauzers. Both Sweet Tea and Honeybee are AKC registered, and in EMBARK, they show up as 100% purebred miniature schnauzers. Using my computer, going into my EMBARK platform, I can even pull them up. So Sweet Tea, miniature schnauzer. Honeybee, miniature schnauzer. I bred them both to Maui. Some of you know him as Toffee. He's also 100% miniature schnauzer. His parents, I've seen both Sweet Tea, Honeybee, and Maui's parents. I own Maui's father, 100% purebred miniature schnauzer. Some of you may know Sierra. She is Honeybee's puppy from her prior litter with Maui, 100% miniature schnauzer. Livy is Maui's daughter with Godiva. You can see here the breed, miniature schnauzer. So I had Sweet Tea's 3 puppies EMBARK tested so that I could figure out which ones I wanted to keep in my own breeding program. Sweet Tea's Beige Girl, 100% miniature schnauzer. Sweet Tea's Wheaton Boy, who's now named Wavy Davy Jackson, 100% miniature schnauzer. You've probably guessed it already that the shock I got yesterday was that the third puppy in this litter, Sweet Tea's Red Boy, has come back from EMBARK as a schnoodle. Wait, what? How is that even possible? I want to be clear, I have nothing against schnoodles. I'm sure they're wonderful. I just didn't think that was possible. So as I dig into the report a little, Sweet Tea's Red Boy is one fetching schnoodle, the EMBARK DNA test says. He's 89% miniature schnauzer and 11% poodle. Wait, what? This is shocking to me. So you can imagine I immediately started getting in touch with EMBARK. After several back and forth emails with EMBARK's customer support, Delaney got back to me, and this is what she said. Hi, Sean. Thank you for reaching out. Sweet Tea's Red Boy's relationships with Sweet Tea and Maui are consistent with parent-offspring relationships. So in other words, she's saying, yes, Sweet Tea and Maui are the parents of this boy. In some cases, a dog's EMBARK results can show a breed not present in their EMBARK-tested parents or relatives, in this case, siblings. This can happen for a few reasons. The dogs may have been tested on different versions of our reference panels. Well, now that makes no sense because the little red boy, somehow his EMBARK results got delayed at EMBARK about 2 weeks later than the other two. So the first two puppies came in really quickly, and this one was delayed for reasons I don't quite understand. EMBARK hasn't been able to explain it to me either, but okay. But did they change their reference panel in the last week? Like, they're not saying that to me. We're continually working to add new breeds and broaden our panel's genetic diversity, so dogs tested against different reference sets may have different results despite their relatedness. For example, two parent dogs tested on an older version of our reference panel may produce a puppy who has a breed in their ancestry previously unreported in the parent's results. This could be due to the addition of more genetic diversity and an updated algorithm in the newer panel, allowing us to more definitively identify the ancestry in the recently tested dog. But again, folks, I had 3 dogs from the same litter tested at the same time. Okay, let's keep going. It is also possible for some dogs in a family group to have breed ancestry that is not present in their siblings and or parents. This is due to a process called genetic, I think this word is recombination, or recombination. While each parent passes down 50% of their DNA to each offspring, the exact DNA they pass down to each puppy in a litter is random and unique to each offspring. As a result, some offspring may inherit a portion of breed ancestry while others may not. You can learn more about genetic recombination and inheritance here. A third possibility is for 2 recently EMBARK tested parents to produce offspring with a breed not present in the parent's recent ancestry results. This indicates that each parent likely had a small portion of ancestry so distant that it fell below our detection threshold. But as a result of genetic recombination, these previously inappreciable segments of DNA can be inherited from each parent, and when combined in a single dog, can be identified by our DNA test. She says, I hope this helps. If you have additional questions, please feel free to contact us at any time. Okay, so mind-blowing for me, might not be for you, but for me this is, because I breed Schnauzers. I don't own any poodles. I don't own a poodle that could have somehow accidentally gotten into breed with Sweet Tea. So I was thinking that EMBARK was going to say, well, obviously we just need to retest. Something happened. For some reason, this test went awry. Okay, what's the real need? Let me keep going back. Well, is the real need, Sean, that you need to prove that EMBARK is wrong on this test? No, probably not. Is the real need that you need to fight a fight with EMBARK about this and force them to retest this puppy? Probably not, because my whole thing is I want to produce great puppies. I want to produce great dogs that fit the modern times, that are emotionally connected. Is this dog going to be that? Well, yes, given who his mom and his dad and his siblings are, they're all Schnauzers. So I know what I'm getting because I've been breeding these dogs for years and multiple generations in some cases, and I know what they produce. This is just surprising to see this EMBARK result. Okay, so Sean, go back. What's the real need? Well, maybe the real need is for me to adjust my thinking about what I'm breeding. Maybe I'm breeding Schnauzers and schnoodles now, even though I have never owned a poodle. Well, this takes me to that next question that I ask myself. What are the options? What are the various options in the way that I could approach this? Well, option one is I could, as I said, go fight a fight about this. I could retest him, this puppy. I could do nothing and just say nothing and pretend nothing happened here. I could accept that science is evolving. I could accept that we live in very modern times where as science evolves and as EMBARK gets more information and as EMBARK looks at different sets of data about dogs, really what I'm more focused on probably in my heart of heart when I'm being really super honest with myself is what I want to focus on are the genetic health traits first. I've been saying this for a long time. What's most important to me is that I'm breeding healthy dogs. I'm breeding genetically sound dogs. I'm breeding dogs with great temperaments that can be cuddly, huggy, emotionally connected. That's what easily to train. That's really my first sift and sort when I look at this. So, okay, deep breath. Maybe I'm not just a Schnauzer breeder. Maybe I'm not contained to the breed of Schnauzer here. Oh, but wait, that just feels like such a big overwhelming moment. Like, Sean, are you saying you're breeding other breeds now? No, I'm not saying that. I already have a wonderful group of dogs that I believe are Schnauzers. Based on the EMBARK data that I've gotten in the past, I've thought this is a group of Schnauzers. But now, if I'm being in integrity, and if this EMBARK test is in integrity, I've got to say I'm breeding Schnauzers and Schnoodles. But not all of them are Schnoodles. And it appears that they're randomly going to maybe the redder ones? Not sure, I don't know. So part of the real need here evolves to, what are the distinctions that cause two puppies in a litter to show up as 100% Schnauzer when one puppy shows up as not 100% Schnauzer? Like, maybe I need to dig into and tease out some of that, but do I really want to go down that science-y path? Again, not sure that's what. So I'm thinking through my options. What are my options? Okay, what does it look like? If I do this option, then what, then what, then what? If I go fight a fight with EMBARK, then what? Well, that's going to take a lot of time, energy. I need to hire an attorney. I really don't want to. That's just not where my heart is. Where my heart is in putting my time, energy, effort, money into developing great dogs, regardless of whether they show up on an EMBARK test as Schnauzer or Schnoodle. And I think when I'm being really honest, okay, so then what? Then what? Well, this has an impact on what I say I'm doing. It has an impact on what I'm representing on my website. It has a impact on, so like this is the then what? Then what? Thinking it out. Does it matter to you? Maybe it does matter to some of you, and to others of you, it doesn't matter at all. Many of you who've reached out to me over the last year or so have said to me that it's all about the temperament. It's all about being able to travel with your puppy. It's not so much about the AKC papers or the pedigree as much to you, because you feel like I've done the work to figure out, is this dog genetically sound? I'm not changing my 10-year genetic health guarantee on the 10-year genetic health guarantee will continue to be exactly what it is, but probably what I need to do, if I'm being in complete integrity with myself and with you, is on my website and in the way that I represent things to say, I'm primarily breeding Schnauzers, but occasionally one of them shows up as a Schnoodle. Whoa! So now let me ask myself those heart emotion connection questions. And let's just see what bubbles up here in my processing myself through this situation. So that first question is, does my decision show I'm being honest with myself? What else? What else do I need to say that would help with some honesty with myself here? I like the look of the Teddybear Schnauzer. I like the sweet tea, honeybee, cuddly. I like the mocha, all cuddly Schnauzer look. I understand that does not necessarily match the AKC standard for the way a show dog Schnauzer is supposed to look. Like, I get that. I regularly get comments from people who want me to understand that the look I'm creating in a Schnauzer isn't, in their opinion, a Schnauzer. Okay. Some people think that a Schnauzer can only be salt and pepper, black or white, because that's what's allowed in the AKC show ring. But up to this point, I've been saying, well, the DNA says otherwise. The DNA says that a Schnauzer can come in many colors. I have proof of that. I have EMBARK DNA reports on my breeding dogs that say that they are 100% purebred miniature Schnauzers. Like, I know I keep saying this over and over in this video, but hopefully you're understanding how this has picked up my snow globe and it has shaken up my head pretty big time to say I've got to make some changes in the way I'm doing things if I want to be in integrity with what this particular puppy's DNA says. So I'll keep asking myself that question. Am I telling myself the whole truth? What else is the truth? What else needs to be said? And that next question, it goes from like, okay, the feelings about this to the intuition. What's my intuition telling me? Well, I think when I stop and take a couple of really deep breaths and say, what is my intuition telling me? My intuition is telling me that most of you who follow my channel really don't care because you don't show Schnauzers. You're not looking for show Schnauzers. You're not looking for dogs that are going to go in the conformation ring as a show dog. You're looking for dogs that are going to be beloved family pets, cute, cuddly, and you are interested in, I think some of you follow my channel and are an active part of this community because we have this kind of dialogue. We have this kind of authentic conversation with each other. And we recognize that life is an adventure. Life is a journey. It has these ups and these downs and these twists and these turns. And part of what I'm doing in this channel is bringing you along on my adventure as I deal with the journey of my life, the highs, the lows, as it relates to my dogs, breeding my dogs, helping families have well-trained dogs. And so I think that's probably why you're here more than that you're here because I'm breeding Schnauzers specifically. But I know some of you who've gotten dogs from me, you have done so because you were getting a purebred Schnauzer and that was important to you. So I don't want to underplay the importance of that in what I have been doing up to this point. And I also don't necessarily want to automatically throw that out. Like it's not that that's not important to me. If it's important to you, I take a deep breath again. You know, am I going to EMBARK test every puppy that I produce? I don't know. I haven't been doing that. I haven't felt like I had to do that because I know that when parents are genetically clear, when parents are clear on all of the genetic known issues, then they can only produce clear puppies, is the way I have understood it up to this point. But I will definitely confirm that also with EMBARK. Hey, EMBARK, is there some curveball here? If you're throwing me a curveball with the genetic information, are you also going to be throwing me a curveball with the genetic information related to the health traits? So the breed genetics, I have thought I could rely on you 100%. So if I believe that I can rely on you, EMBARK, 100% on the genetics of the breed identification, then can I also rely on you 100% for the health trait information? And again, I want to believe the answer is yes there. I want to believe that yes, EMBARK's health information is accurate. Now, I know and I appreciate, this is part of what I appreciate about them, is that they do evolve. They do bring in new tests. They do make sure that they're adding to their panel of the known health issues. So my first dogs that were EMBARK tested might have been run against 100 and something different things, and now they're run against 200 and something different things. I appreciate that about EMBARK. So the next question, does this feel right? And what would I do? What would I do if I wasn't feeling sad or angry or afraid? This question is so important for me when I am in a decision, when I am stuck in something. So like, am I sad? Yeah, I'm actually a little sad, because sadness is an emotion that represents, we feel a sense of loss. We feel like we've lost something, and I feel like I've lost, is it that I've lost the ability to trust EMBARK's DNA? No, I don't want that to be the answer. Is it that I've lost this sense that, hey, every puppy I produce is 100% purebred Schnauzer? That is what is being challenged here by this particular report that I have been given. Now, let's go back to that am I being honest with myself thing again. I've heard from other breeders. I am not the only breeder who this has happened to, but this is the first time that it's happened for me in this way. I have heard from other breeders that they have had a similar experience with whatever their breed is. They think they're breeding fill in the blank, and then they get an EMBARK test back that says that they've got a dog that's some combination, and for some time now they've been getting consistent reports that the type of dogs they're breeding are all the same. So in the past, when I've heard breeders talk about that, I've sort of questioned or thought, something's a little off here. Maybe, who knows, maybe somebody visited with a poodle for a little bit. I don't know. But that didn't happen at my house. I know that didn't happen at my house. There wasn't a poodle visiting here. This had to come from, and I do believe that Maui is the father of this puppy. But Maui is also the father of a whole bunch of other puppies that have tested to be 100% miniature Schnauzer. So I have asked EMBARK to go back and look very closely at the data on this puppy and to let me know, where is the poodle coming from? Is this coming from the mother line, or is this coming from the father line? How far back is that poodle? What else can they tell me about it? So I do have those questions submitted to EMBARK in hopes that they will help me tease this out further. So what would I decide if I wasn't sad? What would I decide if I wasn't angry? Anger is a signal that something's crossed our boundaries, and clearly there's some crossing of my boundaries going on here, because I want EMBARK reports to be accurate, up to date, current, and I'm a little bit questioning that at the moment, but I want to be careful about that. So I notice myself now, I don't want to throw EMBARK out with the bathwater. Like, that's not the solution. I appreciate parts of their reports immensely. Now, I will say they're not the only genetic testing company, and I could certainly use some other genetic testing companies and see what results I get. So I might do that. That's another thing that I could check out. So I have in the past on occasions used UC Davis. I have heard of and just recently thought about Ginsol. So I'm open to doing some comparisons and having the same puppy tested by a couple of different places. That is a possibility. That goes back to my options kinds of thinking, like, what are some of the options? If I did that, then what, then what, then what? That might be interesting to see what comes of me having this puppy tested by multiple companies to see what the outcomes are. The next question that I like to ask myself when I'm faced with a decision like this is, what would I do if I deserved better? Or what does great look like here? Okay, so what does great look like? Well, great looks like I'm evolving things in a way that's current. Great looks like I'm not stuck or angry. Great looks like I'm able to move forward in authenticity and in integrity with myself. So integrity with myself is in part saying to you, hey, I'm living a shock moment here as it relates to my SVCC Schnauzers and what I might need to do with the strategy of my business and how I talk about this business. Maybe I need to be saying, this is SVCC Schnauzers and occasionally a schnoodle. Like, what do you think? Put some thoughts in the comments below. Now, I know, okay, I occasionally get comments from people that tell me, those aren't Schnauzers. Don't know how you could possibly think they're Schnauzers. Schnauzers don't come in those colors, da-da-da-da-da. But if you put yourself in my shoes for a few minutes and you say, hey, I've been using genetic testing. It's not that I'm just randomly looking at a dog and identifying it on my own myself. No, I've been using genetic tests to say these are Schnauzers. So I am wanting right now with you, with me, to be in integrity about the facts as they stand at this moment. This is my YouTube channel, and on this channel I have playlists that group my videos together based on what might be of interest to you. This playlist specifically focuses on EMBARK DNA testing. So if you click on the View Full playlist right here, this is what you see. And now you can see actual EMBARK DNA tests on my puppies. You can see how I use the EMBARK DNA and why I've been using EMBARK DNA for my dogs, my Schnauzers. I'm really interested in your comments and your thoughts. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like my sharing and bringing you along on my thought exercise today. Please put a comment below. This is Dazzle and her little Schnauzer puppies. Yes. Say good morning. We're just waking up for the morning. Hello, little Schnauzer puppies. How are you this morning? This is little Sailor. Yes. And there's Jelly, Chance, and Jasper. Good morning, little Schnauzers. Hi, Sailor. Beautiful little Schnauzer puppies. Yes. And just for fun, I'll show you some little Schnauzers playing. Yes, I know. You're a little chatty one, aren't you? Hello. Hi, Harley. Harley is quite a little talker. Yes, he likes to talk. These are puppies from Godiva and Maui. Yes. Yes, you are. Hello. And this is Livy, and I showed you her DNA. Her EMBARK DNA says she is 100% Schnauzer. And Miss Dazzle here wants belly rub. She is just all Schnauzer girl. Yes, my little Schnauzer girl. And there's another little Schnauzer girl, Miss Burberry. Yep, all of these right here show up as 100% Schnauzer in their EMBARK tests. Hi, Miss Burberry.